S か M かといえば、もちろん S。
自分は S だと思う方はイエスを、M だと思う方はノーを。
さあ、散るぞ。
秋山さん S とか M って何ですか？
え？ディフェンスかオフェンスかってことだよ。S は攻め、M は守りって思っとけ。
What's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome to another episode review for Liar Game. This episode, I am happy and a little sad. Mixed in this episode. There are some things I like. There are some things that I'm quite saddened that didn't happen. I probably expected a little bit too much to go along. It was very simple. I was, expecting a lot more intrigue, more like tactics and psyche, but it's not really there. But there was a telltale sign. If you watch shows, whether it be reality TV or drama or whatever, if you notice the foreshadowing, you could tell what was about to happen next. Maybe not, but they try to do a shocking twist. I think it was effective, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So, episode 5, Alliance. It begins with Nao explaining to the other 6 to 5 females and the guy what the plan is. And as she explained it, they were all excited and they were all content with getting the 40 million and getting out of tournament without debt. There's who wouldn't say no to millions of yen. But you're probably thinking yourself, if you've watched the previous episode and now you're a bit cynical, one of the 6 people raises a very good question. How can we trust everyone to go along with the plan fully, right? Because if it wasn't Nao or Akiyama who got to the end, any one of the other 6, they could just take the money and run. Who cares about paying off your debts? I'm a billion rich. So Akiyama suggests that, hey, let's make a contract for everyone to sign and abide by. And all of them wholeheartedly agree, because now they don't say it, but contracts are very much enforceable, legally binding. You all sign your names, put your thumbprint on it, and they pretty much make it airtight as to what's going on. So, once the tournament's over, if you do, win your billion, follow the contract, or things will happen to you. So after that, Nao explains to the others why they were chosen in particular, and she explains the mysterious X. And we all settle on number 15, the guy with the shades. He is X. And they all make a plan that they would not talk to each other during the game so that their whole little 8-person team collusion won't be found out. So the next day, the first round begins. The first question / topic is essentially boils down to which is better, baseball or soccer. As the guy says, well, between both of them, I like baseball more. So if you vote yes, baseball. You vote no, soccer. Simple. The players, now that we actually see this, they're actually locked within the big ballroom. They're not allowed to go anywhere else for the whole entire 6 hours. And their electronic devices are confiscated. So no phone, no texting, no talking, no nothing. You chat or you sit down and you go to sleep. I don't know. Do whatever they say, do whatever you want. So Hitome starts chatting up Nao for a bit. And Nao's tell her worries. And Hitome's yo, keep a close eye on X. And Nao does so. Not really following him around, but keeping close eye on him. And everyone else follows the plan, chatting up with other people and not being within the group so, close buddy. Akiyama stays quiet and he sits. Time passes and it's been relatively peaceful within the last 3 minutes of the remaining round, and it is also being announced. Everyone lines up in an orderly fashion and votes. The day before the votes tallied, our 8-person team have already chosen who would say yes and who would say no. The 4-4. And the valid vote is tallied and it is a perfect split. 10 yes, 12 no. So the predicted close outcome that Akiyama presented to Nao happened. Alright, okay. So for our team, Hitome, Akiyama, Nao, and the old guy are the ones that survived, and the all other no's are just escorted out the room. Hitome points out that, hey, the number 15 X survived as well. Oh no. So now we're still in the situation. It's okay. We got some more rounds. So now, runs over to Akiyama and she tells him what's up. Akiyama says, yeah, something's off here. especially since we got the 10-12 split in the first round. Akiyama even says like, hey, if the next round is a 4-6 split, we're gonna be operating on the worst case scenario. Foreshadowing. So the next round begins, and Akiyama tells Nao to say, hey, watch everyone more closely, okay? And the next topic, as the punk guy pointed out, he says, I'm more of an S than an M. And so the topic is, are you an S or are you an M? Yes for S, no for M. And it's a comedic moment of Nao saying, like, what's an S? What's an M? So precious, bless her heart. So Hitome rolls up to Nao and they begin chatting. Hitome says that, yo, I'll use this time to check out the other players. You keep an exclusive watch on X. Now, for those of you, if you're very keenly aware, ever since the beginning of the episode, if you study the amount of times that Hitome of this particular group of the, we'll call it NPCs that we got on our team, out of those 6, Hitome has talked the most. And Hitome has been talking to Nao the most. And Hitome has been telling Nao what to do for the most part during these first 2 rounds. Hitome is suspicious, right? It's very plain and simple. Now, you're also probably thinking, well, what about number 15? He's X. Here's the deal with the mystery genre and like drama in general and like detective works and noir and all that good stuff. Authors and writers love to put in red herrings. If you already know what I'm talking about, you're good. If not, stick with me. Just think about what's the red herring at this moment in time. The red herring being something, the fake evidence. Essentially, that's what the red herring is. Or the truth that seems real, but it's not really, it's a lie. So, an hour later, before the game ends, not an hour earlier before games, an hour before the game ends, he told me now they're chatting up at one of the food tables. And they got to decide, okay, who are going to be the pairs? They're going to say yes or no. He told me, said she's going to vote yes. And she wants Nao to join her. It's another red flag if you keep in touch. Nao is more leaning to being with Akiyama as, the pair, the partner. And when Nao goes over to Akiyama, Akiyama says, it's better if we split. Since if we continue to be buddy-buddy, people might get suspicious. So Nao reports back to Hitomi. And she tells her that, okay, we can be in pairs, but the pairs have to be male to female. So Akiyama suggests that I go with the old guy and you be with Akiyama. Those are the pairs. Okay. So we're set there. After that, the round ends, the votes are tallied, and foreshadowing, in a shocking, horrifying twist, it's a 4-6 split. 4 yes, 6 no. Akiyama predictions come true, and all who remain now on the yes side, Akiyama, Hitome, the punk guy, and X, number 15. Things are getting a little suspicious here. So unfortunately, Nao is escorted out. During the night, Nao calls Akiyama to let him know that she made it home safe. They do a small chat about the situation of the game, but it doesn't last long because Akiyama says, yo, let me get some sleep, let me focus on the game. So the next day, Nao is so worried, she walked back to the venue and she calls Akiyama and says, hey, yo, I'm here. And Akiyama's like, what are you doing here, girl? And she said, no, I'm also worried. And, I'm not the only one here. The number 1 guy was also here, which tips off Akiyama to something. We don't know what he's thinking, but something's tipping him off. And so the next round begins on the inside. The question being, I will be the one who win, posed by Hitome. So yes, if you think you'll win, no, if you don't think you'll win. Hitome chats up Akiyama, but he doesn't say anything. And we skip on over to 5 minutes remaining left into the round. Akiyama starts folding up his vote multiple times, claiming that it'll make it harder for them to open, so his vote will be tallied last. Outside, still is Nao. The door opens and the lawyer sees Nao. And the lawyer and the Nao just chat up a bit. And then the lawyer's like, hey, yo, you want to come inside and see since you're so worried? And Nao's like, yeah, sure. So Nao is allowed to, observe the round in progress so long as she stays behind the ropes. But hey, unfortunately for her, the round ends just as she enters. And so the votes are tallied. Punk guy is on no. Hitome is on yes. Number 15, X, he's on no. Now exclaims victory. We won. Yes. Yay. However, Hitome, the one that's been talking the most to Nao, the one that's the most screen time out of all our supposed allies. Stops Nao's little victory, and she goes, "Hey, I'm not Hitomi." She reveals her master plan. Her real name is Yuji Fukunaga, a not so feminine name, and Hitomi is actually a guy. It's a man. It's Yuji. Oh! So Hitomi is Yuji's roommate, and Yuji borrowed Hitomi's invite to be in the tournament. So that means Yuji is our ex, and he even shows the check as proof, the 100 million yen. He even used and what the worst part is, Yuji cannot be in the contract cannot be enforced by Yuji because Yuji used Hitomi's name. Therefore, he ain't liable for anything if he wins. And I'm saying if he wins, because all seems lost. Akiyama's vote hasn't been tallied yet, and the episode ends on a cliffhanger. Oh, so it was a nice episode. I liked the little twist at the end. You could suspect Hitomi to, cook up something evil and bad. Maybe number 15 would have been X this whole entire time and was actually getting Hitomi to the bailout with 100 million, and Hitomi would be the mole to get to the end, and then both of them will split their prize. That could have been it, something like that. But no, it was Hitomi was actually X this whole entire time, and number 15 was just a random NPC. That's cool and all. I like the reveal. However, I was sad that we didn't get tactics, conversations, and actually playing the game, liar game. Not liar game, but minority rule with the other characters. It was just mainly, Nao's inner monologue on things. Hitomi seeding Nao's bad thoughts and causing her to go here and there. I can be a little sad on that. I was expecting Akiyama to teach Nao, hey, talk to this person in this particular way. You've already done the research and the coercion, not coercion, but you already researched the other people in the foyer, get to know them a little bit more, try to make them vote one way or another. But it was already foreshadowed in the previous episode how their plan was going to go. Their plan was enacted that entire way, and I would have liked it to see that they try to manipulate the other people to get the plan into motion. That could have been cool. But beggars can't be choosers. I'm still happy watching and riding along. It's just one thing. Well, yeah, one major thing, but we're here. We're having fun watching anime. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen next with X Yuji, and I'm gonna assume Akiyama has found a way to predict Yuji/X/Hitomi's move to vote yes, make a tie, go to a revote, and then try to make sure that he himself wins, and then split everything, and then somehow we go into the next stage of the live game tournament. We'll see what that happens. That's what I'm thinking, because the show can't end here. It has to move on. We got we're on episode 5. We got 7 more episodes to go. So we'll get there when we get there. Let me know what y'all think about the episode in the comments below. Any predictions y'all got so far? I know I'm a little bit behind on live game, so I'm trying to catch up now that I don't have any conventions going on. But in any other case, I hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.